Right, said Fred. Okay, so I haven't really been online for a while, just Christmas holidays and all that kind of stuff. So my son recommended I have a look at this new slicer by IdeaMaker, and it's not bad. It's different, I can tell you that much. Do I like it over and above Cura? Don't know, I haven't used it in anger yet. It seems quite simple. You just import. You obviously could need to set up your preferences. So when you start out, you go through a configuration wizard, and then you set it up for your printer. And I guess all the settings are pretty much obvious, really, if you're familiar with Key. That's pretty straightforward. There is an import option, so if you did have a profile, you could import it. You leave the rest, marlin, rectangle. I don't think I've changed any of these other settings, to be honest. Oh, I did set the build plate distance, the border distance from the build plate, although I have added some G code in there to run a line down the left-hand margin of the build plate. So you could probably leave that where it is, really. What else? Export. Sorry, advanced. I think I left these pretty much the same. I don't think I changed any stuff in there. Yeah, I think I left all the build plate temperatures, all that kind of stuff. I think initially they're set at 70 Celsius or maybe a little bit higher, but you can set that anyway beforehand. There's some primary extruder settings. When you slice, so I'll cancel that. Let's just go and start slicing. You need to create a new template. So you create yourself a template, or you can edit this one, for example. And this is where you find all of your, other settings, things like your layer height. So this is the default layer height. You can probably change that to 0.2. How many shells you want, maximum shells overlap percentage, your first layer height, your first layer flow rate, then your first layer extrusion width percentage. So I've borrowed these from my Cura settings. What else have I set under here? Not much else, I don't think, really. You have to obviously go and set your extruder settings, and you'll find them under here. So obviously extruder width should be 0.4 if that's the nib, the nib that you're using or tip that you're using. You will need to go and set your retract amounts, which I have. Let me have a check. Minimum travel of retraction. Now, in fact, that does need to be set to 600 millimeters, because we have a bound cable. And then you can set your extra restart amount. I've set mine to 0.68, normally it's 0.685. So that is the minimum travel of retraction, minimum amount of retraction. I'll go and check this, have a look, read what this one says. So, minimum travel distance defined if the filament needs to be retracted, set this item, make sure you do not get a lot of retractions in a small area. It might well be then this one that we need to set the minimum amount of extrusion that defines filament needs to be retracted. Which is less than the minimum. Difficult to know how these two interact. Anyway, in fact, it well may be we leave those. Control Z rather. There's a few videos online on this. May well be it's that one. Retraction. Yeah, it must be that one. The number of set there means that no retractions at all. Yeah, so it must be this one. That must be. but obviously you can have zero infill if you're not using infill at all. The rest of the settings should be fairly obvious. I don't think I've changed anything here. Solid fills, I think I've left these the same. I haven't really done anything here. I'm not using. I think I had to set mine down to 60 and 200. Maybe these were too high initially. I haven't changed anything else. There is also a control list, so it's like you can set up a control list. Speeds, yeah, 60. Typically that's my default printing speed. Sometimes I slow it down for things like TPU, down to 445 millimeters per second. But yeah, I haven't really changed too many of these. They look quite sensible. If you advanced settings, settings, other settings, I haven't changed any of these. And then the G-code settings, and I have copied and pasted these out of Cura, and I think I gleaned these from the internet somewhere. But what this does, I think in early versions of Cura, it's quite a nice feature where it basically primes down the left-hand border a margin of the build plate and does two lines, which means it sort of pumps some material through the head. So by the time it moves into the center to start your print, there's no, oozing or any other issues, streaking or things like that. So it's quite nice having that kind of code in there. I haven't altered this at all. Yeah, that's. I wonder if that line down there looks like that's from the G-code. That's interesting. Possibly. I don't know if that's the. It looks like it's drawing a line there as part of the G-code, which is exactly what I want. The rest of it, I think you can figure out for yourself. There's various other settings: structure, speed, layer height. Just very similar to Cura, really. Extruder color you can set. Layer height. I think I'll leave it some structure. Then you can close your preview, and then you can print. You can either export to local disk, very similar to Cura, upload to the printer, upload if you were using the cloud, or upload to OctoPrint, because I've already set mine up. And when you upload to OctoPrint, I think you can elect then to choose the whether you're going to use file or to OctoPrint. The rest of the ribbon is pretty straightforward. You've got, things like view, delete, pan, move, rotate, scale, free cut, support, modifiers. I haven't really played with the modifiers yet. Maximum fit, duplicate, repair. Sounds very similar to other tools, and then connect. But this one I think is only for the Raise3D printer or Raise Cloud. So anyway, early days using this tool, but it looks pretty good. It seems quite quick. So I've prepared a new. This is also my LED base. I've got an LED base, and I've just created. This was the original one I created, where I put my little stand onto from the P-51 Mustang 50% scale and the Spitfire with a hole in the middle, so the LED lights come through. But I created a solid one here because I'm going to mount another type of umbrella logo from the Umbrella Academy directly onto this plate. It's a little LED base that sits over my LED unit, and that will then let the light shine out through. And I just basically set this up to point to the IdeaMaker. So similar kind of thing. You go into your program files, Raise3D IdeaMaker, and then select your default program. I was using Cura before, but I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to go at thin wall printing as well and see if that works. But that's pretty much all I've been doing so far. I've been printing out some smaller scale stuff for night lights, children night lights, because I've got these LED base plates. And yeah, a bit of fun mucking around. Anyway, good luck. Catch you later.